Hakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with halachot of the Pirkei Avot and Perek in Mishnah Kaf Aleph. We were speaking about over here until when exactly is the different ages. So we spoke about the way of the learning, whether it's going to be Ben Chamesh L'Mikra, then you continue Ben Esel L'Mishnah, Chamesh Esel L'Talmud, basically the different ages once a person starts his learning. And then it says Ben Shmona Esel L'Chuppah, when does he get married? And it says Ben Shivim L'Seva. So it's going to be that a person that's going to be at the age of 70, he already gets to the concept of seva, of old age. In the Tikkunei Zohar, he comes and he says, Let seva pechuta mishitin shanin. There is no seva less than 60 years. And here it says, right, that it's going to be 50. So the Gaon comes and he says, on the Sefer HaTikkunim, that the Zohar is arguing on our Mishnah that it says, Ben shishim lezikna, ben shivim leseva. And the Sefer Ben Yochai comes and he says, he brings the Sagat Yavetz on the Sefer Tikkunim, that he says it doesn't make sense, because by us it says, Ben chamishim le'etza, meaning when a person is 50 years old, now he starts giving advice. It's not that he's elderly. And then Ben shishim lezikna. So he wants to come and he actually brings the Girsav, the Tosafot Yom Tov in our Mishnah, that really Ben chamishim is lechokhmah. That when a person becomes 50, then all of a sudden he already starts getting wisdom. So therefore it's a little bit of a different than wisdom and being elderly. So according to this, according to the Zohar HaKadosh, it comes out that once a person is 60 years old, they're considered elder. And if the Torah says, Mipenei seva takum, that we just read in Parashat Kedoshim, that you have to get up for an elderly person, so therefore you have to get up from the age of 60. That's what comes out. So therefore from the age of 60, according to the Zohar HaKadosh, you have to stand up. And that's also brought down in the Rav Chida in the name of the Arizal HaKadosh. Shekol shehu ben shishim shana mitzvah lakum mipanav. So the second that a person gets 60 years old, there's a mitzvah to stand up for the person. You don't have to wait until 70. V'chem pasak also in the Shut Shol Mishiva, and the Ben Ish Chai says that you have to be careful with this, because the Arizal HaKadosh, everything that he did was nemanim al pi yasod divrei Elokim chayim. So therefore, according to the Ben Ish Chai, just like the Arizal says, a person has to start standing up for people from the age of 60. The Minchat Chinuch comes and he brings that even according to the Nigla, you have to stand up. He says, because if you look in the Targum, when it says Mipenei seva, it says Min kodam de savar beoraita. When in front of a person that's learning Torah, that knows Torah. Ve'al vadarta penei zaken, when it says now about a zaken, there it says Mipenei sabah. The sabah is already going to be from 60 years old. So therefore, because shishim lezikna, so therefore it comes out that from the 60 years old onwards, also you have to stand up. So that's actually Targum, right? Yom Kurus actually comes and brings down the same thing. However, though, the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Reshim Dalet Sif Aleph is posek that the mitzvah to stand up in front of a seva is only from 70 years onwards. So it comes out it's actually going to be a machloket between the Arizal HaKadosh and the Shulchan Aruch. According to Shulchan Aruch Mefurash, it is only from 70 years and onwards. His mekor is the Rishonim, al-pi our Mishnah, just like the Gaon brings it down. And that's what's also brought down in the Gemara Batra in Amud Aleph. The Gemara says, Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov, en seva pechuta mishivim shana. There's no such thing as seva less than 70 years old. V'chem pasak gam b'chayei adam. And that's also brought down in the Chayei Adam. So it comes out that we actually have a machloket, whether it's going to be between the Kabbalah and the Halacha. Since when does a person have to stand up for somebody else? Is it from the age of 60 or from the age of 70? The Shevet Levi brings down something very interesting, that even if you have a safek if the person has zikna, so then you're obligated to stand up because it's safek doraita. And since it's safek doraita, we go lechumra. So obviously each one according to their shita, whether it's going to be 60 or 70. And then we'll finish off with bringing down the reasoning of the chinuch. What exactly is the reason why do you have to stand up at all for a person that gets to this age? Again, whether it's the 60 or the 70, he says because shibrov shanav Ravi kiksam maaseh Hashem niflotav umitoch kach ra'ui lechabed. What is it lekavod? What does that mean? He says because once a person has age, the person, once he's actually experienced so much in his life, many times even without knowing a lot, they will actually see the hand of God. They will see the hand of Hashem in his actions throughout the years, which means even if a person, it's not that he came and he was learning his entire life, and therefore obviously he learned it from a much earlier age. Even if a person did not learn, once he comes and he sees that how it is, that really be'emet, if you're going to come and you're going to do terrible things, it's not going to pay off. And anybody that went on that path, at the end, he saw his just at the end of his life, or the other way around. That if you could come and you could see a person, the way that he's seen how that certain people, they were very just and they were very righteous. And then at the end, even though it could be that they were looking through life and they saw that maybe not the best things happened to them, but at the end, really, be'emet, everything did actually come out into place. Many times, just by seeing the wisdom of life, of how life goes around and comes around, that in itself is fitting for kavod, because then he sees the truth. And I've witnessed this myself, that sometimes you have people that mamash, they're chozer b'tshuva, they haven't learned basically anything. They learn a little bit of chumash here or there, that's it. But all of a sudden you come, and with the age, they come and they will start telling you about how that they see how the Torah is so important, and that they regret that they didn't actually take advantage when they were younger years, that they didn't actually come and do teshuvah much earlier in their life. So therefore, again, because of the elderly, that's exactly why you have to actually come and you have to give them the kavod. But again, as we mentioned, it's a machloket whether you're going to start at the age of 60 or at the age of 70.